I,
Tell that story.
Yeah.
I like how when I went live, the phone was like, "No, I'm smaller now." It was set up
I was
before.
enjoying the story.
There we go. Army of one. Forest stump over there in the corner. Nobody puts foe in a corner.
Phone needs a lamp.
Foe.
He's having a hard time seeing with the lights off.
Foe's phone will cause seizures. Have
Yeah.
you seen that?
Yeah, I raved to it a minute ago.
Oh, are we live
This
now?
yeah, we're
Do I have
live
to be
and there's a
professional now?
person here.
Oh,
A
he's a person.
here? Well,
What's
that's
up,
good.
person?
Hi, person.
There's a whole person.
It's just us. It's just one on one. It's me, Bob, and that one person. What questions? do you
I'm
have?
here too.
Hit us with your
Jeez.
questions.
We're assuming you have more than one question because it's just you. Yeah.
Hit us with your questions.
Badger said, "I'm a person." Britt is in the house. Britt's here.
Brid,
Oh,
Brizzle.
I gotta take this. I'll be right back. I'm trying to get somebody to give us a play for the Western Carolinas.
Yeah.
Here's a microphone. We're probably not gonna have that conversation on camera. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh,
That
could you
would've been so
imagine?
funny.
Oh, he
Oh
wouldn't
my
have though.
gosh.
He would have been an angry bear.
No.
Angry bear. Oh my gosh.
Really freaking good. How are you?
All right, what's up, beautiful people? This is a Monday live stream, which is similar to the Wednesday live stream, except it's a different day, and we're talking about different things in a different time.
Ask him for 5x5.
So, can you guys hear me? 5x5. Are we live? Are you there? Are you hello? Hello. All right, can you hear me now?
75 Jews. No, I was kidding.
75 Jews, the musical. Yeah. Is that offensive? No, it's fine. We're Jewish. Ish. That's alright. I married a Jew.
We are the seed of Abraham.
We are the seed of Abraham.
So,
That's true. We're technically the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So
low audio.
low audio.
Lauren is louder than Bob. How is
How
that
is that even possible?
possible?
Unless the microphones aren't working and it's pulling from the mic on your phone, in which case you would be closest. But is it picking me up?
It's showing on the receiver that it's picking you up. Bob is very quiet. Bob,
What'd you say?
if you can hear Lauren, please hold as I figure out the audio. That was my best radio voice. Bow.
Oh, patience is a virtue.
Bob is getting picked up by a loop. I don't have a mic.
Hello.
She loud. Thanks, Indie Prepper.
She loud AF,
She
bruh.
loud. Is that any better, guys?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello. Coming to you live from the Refuge Studio.
There we go.
There we go. We're up. We're so up. We're so back.
So I guess they probably can't hear me now.
All right, guys. So today we wanted to have a little live stream. We got the Oso Independiente in the house, the Bear Independent. He's gonna be hopping on here in a minute. He's doing some logistics work for the storms that have hit on the East Coast and Southeast Coast. I'm sure everybody is somewhat aware of it. If you don't know, we're ending the National Month of Preparedness, and so this is really highlighting the absolute imperative need to be prepared, not just in your house, but in your community. We're seeing entire communities decimated. Not like, oh man, they've been affected. It's like a tornado. No, they literally washed away. And so Grindstone Ministries is spinning up full time right now for deployment. We got recon boots in the ground. We're one of two NGOs that are currently able to work inside of Tennessee through the Tennessee Emergency Management. We're working in the Carolinas as well. We're partnering with a few different NGOs that can't be named and a couple of other organizations that can't be named to supply aerial assets to help with logistics to get additional medics and SAR on the ground. Guys, this is pointing out the need for preparedness and sustainment capability in a huge way. There are still entire areas that have not been searched. I think the last death count I saw in North Carolina was like 1,000 people.
No, they have over 1,000 missing.
Over 1,000 missing.
It's either 1,000 or 2,000 missing. But I don't think the death haven't found
Yeah.
people.
So that's the thing is, I'm sure there's been individuals that have been washed away.
Like sinkholes, like it's
Sinkholes,
crazy. Like
mudslides have been huge.
Asheville's cut off.
Asheville is completely cut off
Like,
from the
all their
world right now.
bridges are
Yep, all the
gone,
bridges
and-
are gone, so they have no power, no communication. This is literally what we talk about. This is why we do what we do, and it's highlighting the need. I just got off the phone with an individual who's supplying out medics. So they have some PJs, they have some 18 Deltas, they have some corpsmen that are working as in now a pararescue form. They're literally hopping on birds as we speak to go fly out to start doing rooftop rescues, and then they might have to jump into a couple of locations to literally help people. And they need med gear. And they're like, dude, nobody there has anything. All the resources have been washed away. They're like, there's no fire department, there's no ambulances, there's nothing. We need gear. We need IV tubing. We need IV starts. We need hypothermia management kits. Like, we need trauma gear and all that stuff. And I'm telling you this because it's like we're hours upon hours upon hours after the event right now. And they're still not able to get there to rescue. Yep.
Striker Kate said, I have 100 gallons of water in stackable 5-gallon containers. You are welcome to grab them on your way. I'm 2 minutes off I-40. Tell them to reach out to Kyle or Keith. They're
Yeah.
how close
Last
they are.
time I had actually just talked to one of our guys on the ground this morning. They had like 4 or 5 huge IBC totes
Okay.
full of clean water show up. So we're working on additional logistics in terms of getting clean water and food over there.
Potable water.
Yeah, dude, it's a thing.
You know, everybody's like, what kind of Daniel Defense Mark 19 XLR should I buy? And it's like,
Dude, you
probably
have water.
water.
You have water.
Probably water.
Yeah, stop. Stop. Are you working on your comms, guys?
I kind of think it's a testament too to having, like we always talk about, like don't prioritize, not talk about it, but your bug out bag. In this situation, all your food preps, your buckets of food, gone. But having a bag that you can grab and take with you that has, some high calorie snacks, has some water in it, some dry clothes, maybe if they're dry, waterproof bag maybe.
So,
But
100%. And also, what does your network look like?
Yeah. Huge.
Because and do you have area familiarity? Because if the town upstream from you is getting wiped away,
Yep.
how do I know to go? Well, Bear, what should my bug out indicators be? It's like, I don't freaking know. I don't know where you live, but you need to figure that out. And who's going to call you, text you, run over to your house and say, hey, things are terrible upstream from here. We got to go. And then that's where the go bag, the bug out bag, whatever it is, now it all begins to make sense. And you have to know where you're going to go. And you need the area familiarity that, oh no, this bridge is out. I know a cut through over here.
Yep.
I know an alternate route. I can get out of here. And everybody likes to sit around and masturbate about this prepper fantasy bullshit when real people are dead right now because they didn't do what they should have done, could have done to be prepared for any external threat. Everybody's hyper-focused on Russia just changed the rules around use of nuclear weapons in Ukraine. It's like, water. Water will kill you and you'll die without it,
Oh my gosh, dude.
right? And so like the basics, man, and see, human beings we were not built by the creator to process this much information from this many different sources. You're not supposed to know what the new #1, rave music song is in Zimbabwe because you saw it on the internet. We're not designed for that. We're designed for small intentional communities of people.
in front of you or something to your voice is directionally.
Directionally, Bob, your voice is directionally.
Yeah, be directional.
But listen, if you could make your voice go in 360 degrees
That'd be so
instead of
sick.
just straight out of your face, that would really help the
I try
production
so
quality
hard.
around here.
The
Would
thing
Berkey
is
filters be enough to filter out that nasty water?
So here's the thing. Let's say you have a Berkey, right? The first thing you need to do, because everything around there, that water is all mud.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all mud. So you need to pre-filter it first.
Yep.
And that could be as much as a piece of cheesecloth over a container, right? And now, let's say in this situation, I've got water flowing through here. It's dirty, muddy water. Okay, pre-filter first. Cheesecloth, handkerchief, triangle, bandage, cotton t-shirt, whatever I got that gets most of the solids that are in suspension in this water out. Now this container's dirty. I don't drink from this container. I pull out of this container with my MSR water filter, or with my LifeStraw, which is terrible, throw that shit in the trash, my Sawyer Mini, or I dump this into a charcoal activated filter system like a Berkey or anything else, and then what comes out on the other side of that is now potable water. Now here's the thing. There's gonna be chemicals and there's gonna be feces in that water. And you're probably thinking, ew. Hey, a news flash. If you get your water from a water treatment plant, which most of the country does, there's already chemicals and feces in your water. It's just below the threshold that the government has set for whether or not you're gonna get
Yeah,
sick.
the government said there's not too much.
Yeah, it's
just the right amount.
your allowable, I think it's 300 parts per million literal shit in your water, and that's not enough to make you sick,
poop never hurt
allegedly.
I can smell the chlorine in the water here.
Yeah, you can.
Hardcore.
Especially if you have a Berkey, and when you take the lid off the Berkey and you fill it up from the tap, all that chlorine has been concentrated on the top side of the Berkey.
Oh,
I
dude.
just filled my Berkey this morning.
Yep.
So,
I'm like, is this a
Stings
pool?
the nostrils.
but water, right? Too much of it will kill you. Not enough of it will kill you. It's the same thing with heat. Too much will kill you. Not enough of it will kill you. Same thing with food. Too much will kill you. Not enough will kill you. So maintaining homeostasis, maintaining, if you have less than 2% of the amount of water you need in your body, you are clinically dehydrated. There has been a 25% decrease in cognitive ability shown from a 2% deficiency in water.
Really?
Really?
Huh.
What do you got, Lorraine?
Two things. First, that speaks to having salts with you, right?
Yeah, it's literally on the grindstone pack out list.
Yeah.
Or
Salt is a
rehydration
thing.
salts.
Okay, so Heather wanted to know, she said LifeStraw is trash. I have both and a Sawyer. Didn't know LifeStraw was no good. And then someone asked, is Sawyer Mini good enough for like polluted city rivers?
Yes. So when I say LifeStraw is trash, the reason I say LifeStraw is trash is because the LifeStraw requires me to put my face, my maxillofacial region, which is a huge area of ingress for disease, directly next to the water source. Okay? Now, if all I have to drink out of is a puddle, I have to get down on my hands and knees, maybe lay on my belly, and put my face
In the puddle.
over the compromised water source. I don't want to be that close to it.
Yeah.
If it's all I've got, I'll take it. But you can get a 3-foot piece of hose of tubing. That goes a long way. And if it's surgical tubing, I can also use it in a medical scenario. And with a 3-foot piece of surgical tubing, small diameter, because physics is a thing, 1/4-inch interior diameter, because I want to be able to move a small column of water from where the water is to my face. And if you're in a mountainous region, all those little nooks and crags, those like crannies, what do they call those, breakfast muffins? Sawyers?
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean?
Yep, I know exactly.
Thomas English
Yes,
muffins.
Yep, that's exactly what
When
it
you
was.
gotta suck the water out of the nooks and crannies in your Thomas English muffin,
Yeah.
I don't want to put my face right next to it. That's why I don't like the LifeStraw. So a Sawyer Mini or a Sawyer Squeeze, both of them have squeeze pouches, or they're threaded so you can thread them on your standard threads on a water bottle, half-liter or liter water bottle, so that this, which is my dirty water, compromised water, I can put my filter onto it, squeeze, and clean water will come out the other side. And the Sawyer Mini comes with a back flush.
Yeah, dude.
Most of you guys, when you have a Sawyer Mini, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not carrying that back flush plunger. That's really important because you take clean water out of the outbound side of the Sawyer Mini and you back flush the filter, because that filter is good for 100,000 gallons if you keep it clean. If you keep it clean. And if you back flush it with dirty water, your whole filter's dirty now. And so that's why I like Sawyer products more than LifeStraw products. It's not that the filtration in the LifeStraw doesn't work. It's that I don't want to put my face 6 inches from the problem.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Would it still be a good idea to, if you had access to it, boil the water first Like go through the steps of boiling and then filtering?
If you can, but so here's the thing, you're expending literal calories, right? A calorie is a unit of energy to raise, no, that's a BTU, British Thermal Unit. But a calorie is a literal unit of energy as well. And so we're using fuel to boil water, right? And a lot of people, resources. A lot of people have electric stoves, okay? Well, if the electricity doesn't work, how am I gonna boil water? Also, if your water looks like mud, because you didn't pre-filter it, what difference does it make?
Well, someone mentioned that the Sawyer menu doesn't take care of viruses.
So the thing with viruses though, viral load, you need a sufficient amount of viral load.
We just completely blacked out,
Oh, we're black?
but not on my phone.
Oh.
We're live on my phone, but this is what they're seeing.
Well, why do you touch stuff? Why'd you do that?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's a bad thing that we're black.
Oh, you know what?
It's a podcast now?
frozen. What the heck? Somebody just said too that they just lost service. Verizon is down. That's not our internet, is it?
Dude, if we're getting a terror strike right now,
Dude.
I really, gloves are off. Gloves are off.
They can hear us. They can't.
Gloves
see
are
us.
off.
Oh. Does everybody have their gear on them?
This is lame.
So moral of the story is, you have to have some sort of way to filter water. That's the huge thing, right? So having a pace plan is going to be huge, guys, because yeah, if your idea is I'm going to pull clean water out of my tap and put it in my Berkey, that's your primary. But what's your alternate to that? Okay, water's not coming out of my tap. Do you have water storage? Is your water storage in IBC totes? Is it in a pond? Does your pond stay full? You know, all these questions really matter. Do you have additional cloth to, sift and filter out any sediment or, solid material that's in your water? Having these primary, alternate, contingency, emergency plans are gonna be huge. Like if you go from I get water out of my tap down to, and then your next part of your plan is LifeStraw, you're missing a lot of good opportunities in there for really good, clean, filtered water. And we say all of this because people's entire lives have been swept away in mudslides, and they were only able to take a bag or two with them. And that's if they didn't have small children or pets or elderly or like anything like that. Like we really need to be thinking in terms of like, what can you actually carry on you is huge.
Stand by, stand by. We may have something we need to handle. 1-year-old baby found alone, alive but needs to go somewhere. We are lining up a bird, may need to land at FOB, lining up care. Pray. This is what we do. This is why we are prepared. To be able to operate from positions of strength. Because while you masturbate to your prepper gear without ever pressure testing it, without really knowing what you need, you're burning time and you are not able to be a light to others. This is why my truck is a gun truck / ambulance. This is why we build companies like this. This is why you support companies like this, so that we can go anywhere in the world to go be a blessing, to be the hands and feet of the Most High wherever we are needed. It is complete and utter chaos in Eastern Tennessee and the Western Carolinas right now. Not one word from the government.
Nope.
The emergency management teams in those states can't get FEMA on the phone. We are working directly with senators and congressmen and state emergency management and private individuals and people I can't even talk about on camera who are making shit happen for this, because there's a 1-year-old that's just been located that we need to get out with a helicopter right now.
Like right now.
Like literally right now. Praise the Most High that there are people there that actually care and can operate from positions of strength. The whole entire thing is about the preservation of life, and if you make your preps a false idol and you bow down to them, you're doing a disservice to the creator of the universe and your brothers and sisters, the people that you're commanded to love, to the left and the right. They are there to enable you to operate in righteousness for the preservation of life. sustain. That's it. That's it.
Deuteronomy 28, you'll sit there and you'll think, oh, I've saved myself by my own hand, and I have made my storehouses. No, the Father has made these things, and he's done it to abundantly bless you and others. Those of you who wish to save your life, you will lose it. Those of you who lose your life for my sake, you will have eternal life in the kingdom of heaven. Like, understand the assignment. Read your book. Read your book. It's in there. It's all in there. I promise. I was just talking to you about this yesterday. Like, read your book and then do what it says. It doesn't say have a storehouse so that way you can watch more videos about how to build a better storehouse, and that way you can have the best storehouse, and that your storehouse is so strong. It says build a storehouse because there literally is going to be famine in the land. Like, understand the importance of this. We're not saying buy more medical gear because we want you to buy more medical gear. We're saying buy more medical gear because there literally is not effing ambulances. Like, they're gone. They're underwater.
We're trying to figure out, we're not trying to, we will figure out how to speedball a field hospital to Tier 1 operatives today. Out of this building. And if I sound pissed off, I am. I'm not pissed off at y'all. So let me clarify. I love y'all. I really do. There's not enough of us to go around. I need every one of y'all
To do this.
to do this. And to that point, we were fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of our Creator.
Yep.
Our Elohim is the same Elohim that raised people from the dead.
Yep.
The same Elohim that brought the Israelites into the Promised Land, that allowed Joshua to walk across on dry land, that allowed Moshe to split the Sea of Reeds, that destroyed Pharaoh, that enabled Elijah to slaughter 450 false prophets of Baal, that was at the right hand of David as he slaughtered tens of thousands of the enemies of Israel, that raised Lazarus from the dead,
Yep.
that healed the lame and the sick, that healed the woman with the blood issue. And we're over here praying about our tiny little bullshit lives. Please, Father, please, if I could just get a little bit of overtime this week. And he's like, go do epic shit. The birds of the field don't worry about where they're going to sleep or what they're going to eat. How much more are you than sparrows?
And you're like, I need new sunglasses.
Go, yeah.
And it's like, dude, are you kidding me right now?
Go do epic shit. Emunah, faith, is belief coupled with works. If you don't do, if you can't do, if you don't operate from a position of strength, you won't even know your Elohim, let alone everybody else. And that goes back to this concept of bitachon, complete and utter reliance on the Creator of the universe, that His will would be done, and I might experience blessings by participating in His will for good, for the preservation of life, to be the light to the world. People are like, well, go share the gospel. What's the gospel? What are you doing? And if your life is shit, what kind of witness are you when you go share the gospel? Because if your life is shit, I don't want what you have. You're being a terrible witness for Messiah and for Elohim. And so it might sound a little bit ludicrous, but the Father's people are a peculiar people. Put your Batman belt on, find your cape, and go do epic hero shit in the name of the Most High, because the world is crying out for help. The world needs help, and our bandwidth is limited. We don't need us to do more. We need more to do the things that us is doing, if that makes sense.
Dude, so check this out. John the Baptist, when he's in prison, when Herod puts him in prison, he sends two of his taught ones to Messiah. And he basically says, like, hey, are you the one that we should expect, or should we expect another one? And he's basically asking, hey, are you actually the Messiah? Because
Are you the guy?
Yeah, because you said you were going to free the captives, right? Now, Messiah was talking about the captives of sin. And so this is what Messiah says, right? He says, go and tell John this. The lame are healed. The blind have received sight. The dead are raised. Blessed are those who do not fall away on account of me, right? Messiah says, I am doing things.
Yep.
Blessed are you if you do not fall away because I'm not doing what you thought I'd do. Right? And so the whole idea here is that Messiah, he always was and he always will be a man, a God, a perfect king of action. Right? And you were built in his image. Like he put a little bit of himself into you. Right? And so to say that you are not about that action is to deny your very creation.
It's why you exist.
It's why you're here.
If he didn't need you to do stuff, he wouldn't have built you in the first place.
And the beauty is when you're like, I couldn't do that. Like, I could never do that.
No shit.
You're right. Congratulations. I'm sure Goliath was staring at David, and David went, I don't know. But the Spirit of the Lord descended upon him, right? And then young David, just a teenager, dude, grabbed a sling, shot the guy in the face, grabbed his huge-ass sword, and cut his head off. Not by his own strength. See, in our weakness, Messiah's strength is made manifest. And right now, more than ever, and it's going to continue to get worse, I promise you that. I really do. That's not a prophetic statement. It's just an analyzation of the data. Right now, children of Elohim need to stand up. They really do. They really, really do. They need to figure out, how can I get engaged in my community? Because right now, it's Tennessee, and it's the Carolinas, and it's some pieces of Georgia, and yada, yada, yada. That's where it is right now. Right now. What happens when it's your town? Do you know the fire chief that you could even talk to? Do you know the police chief? Do you know your routes of egress? Do you know what the major waterways are? Do you know what bridges could collapse and how to work around that? Do you understand that? Like, and how do you eat a giraffe? One bite at a time. You don't eat the whole thing sitting down right there. You eat it one bite at a time, and you take action.
How are you supposed to love your neighbor as yourself if you don't know who your neighbor is?
Oh, dude.
And I get this question all the time. Well, Bear, who is my neighbor? Why are you looking for an out? That's my question. Is he really my neighbor? Why are you looking for an out?
If you're asking, you know.
The word says to do good to all, especially those in the faith.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not do good to those in the faith, screw everybody else.
No.
No, it's do good to all. You know
Well-
why? Because you're a witness.
Well, and also, you know why? Because unequal weights and measures are an
Yeah.
abomination to the
Yeah.
Most High.
You have no idea what effect your love to that broken person is going to do.
Oh, I've
And
seen it.
being an asshole to them because they're not your neighbor.
We've seen it hundreds of times with Grindstone.
Yeah.
When somebody has lost every physical possession they've ever had, I mean, I'm talking about people who are standing on bare slabs where houses used to be.
Yeah.
And go up to them and they ask, why are you here? Why are you doing this? Because the Father in heaven loves you so much that he convicted me in Oklahoma to get in the truck and drive to you, to come here and pray with you.
Yep.
And tell you about him. And people melt. I can't count how many people I have had the blessing of holding up in my arms, holding their entire body weight as they weep. It's hundreds.
They need to know he still loves them. He hasn't
Exactly. They have to feel it.
Yeah.
They have to feel it. And I'm no one. And there isn't a single person within the sound of my voice that can't do what we do. And it does take being prepared so that I can operate from a position of strength, so that I can go out in the world and happen to the world. The world doesn't happen to me because my God is God.
An empty cup cannot pour out.
There you go.
And here's the thing. A lot of people read this scripture and they think that it's like, oh man, yeah, count it joy. So it reads, count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you fall into various trials and testing. Right? The next line is very important, and everybody loves to overlook this line. Knowing that the proving of your belief works endurance. Right? The proving of your belief, figuring out how you believe, is worked inside of endurance. And let endurance have its perfect work, so that you would be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing, right? Meaning, trials and testing are coming to you to prove your belief, to heat you up, remove dross, remove false idols, remove faith outside of the Creator, so that you would be complete in Him, right? I can't express to you how important it is that your house is in order, right? Not because your house being in order is going to save you, but because it could allow you to save others unto the Most High. Be a blessing to others.
Someone, or Striker Kate said, Yeshua was a neighbor to the Roman soldiers,
Yeah.
right? And those guys suck.
Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do.
I think about when he carried their stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
If
Like,
anyone
wait.
charges you to go 1 mile,
Yeah.
I say go 2 with
Yeah,
him.
go
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
So, I love this company for a lot of reasons. And I could tell you, it's Monday morning, it's the end of the month. We're like, we should go live, we should talk to the people, right? From a business standpoint, business hat, it's like, let's finish this month strong.
Let's make some
Right?
numbers.
Yeah, let's impact the numbers. It's like, no, let's impact you
Yeah.
with the word of Elohim.
This
Right?
is not what we were going to talk about.
At all. But in the mouths of 2 or 3, let a thing be established. And we've got 2 brothers and a sister sitting right here, all strong in belief. We're like, we're going to say whatever the Spirit puts on us to say because we belong to Elohim. This company belongs to the Creator of the universe. And we're always going to get what we need and sometimes what we want too for preservation of life,
Yep.
right? And this company physically preserves life, but more important, spiritually, there's not a person inside, underneath this roof, there's not a person of deep faith and belief. And that's not like, it's not in the hiring process. It's in the ethos and the culture of the company.
Yeah, you just wouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly. We've had people walk through the door who can't stand it. They're like me the first time I went back to church after a decade of heathenism, because whatever's inside of them can't stand being in the presence of the light.
Yeah, we've had literal demon-possessed people come in and not be able to move past the doorway and start babbling the name of Yahuwah.
Yep.
And they don't know why. Dude, it's crazy. But it's because what is in them is at war with what is in us. And guess what? It's a feudal war. Because the Messiah has already won. And I'm guilty of this, and I know so many others are guilty of this. We give the enemy too much credit. He was created by our Creator. Okay? Our God is master, sovereign of the universe. And even in that, as He places the stars in the heavens, as He provides for the deer in the field, He's thinking about you and providing for you so that you can go bless others to bring glory to His name. And we're like, oh man, but what am I going to do on Tuesday? Dude, shut up. Do something for Him. Why worry about tomorrow? Tomorrow has enough evil of its own. Rather, focus on what you can do today for the kingdom. Right? Truly, this is where the rubber meets the road. And I promise, there's a good amount of road that's ahead of us. And you're going to need some good rubber, folks. Because if you're not seeing it, I really don't know a way to articulate it. The building is on fire. The powers that be have tried to rob you of your fire extinguishers. And we're sitting here saying, hey, you should probably grab some extra fire extinguishers, some fire retardant gear, and maybe be prepared to leave the building. People are like, I don't know, man. I'm thinking about getting a new office chair. It's like the building's on fire. Let's pay attention right now. Can you get people out of this building? Can you help them get the gear that they need? Be attentive right now. Not to yourself, but to the others around you. It is critical. People need to see the witness of the Messiah in you. These are the days, man. They really are. As they create fake humans in labs like the days of Noah, be the sovereign, beautiful, fearfully and wonderfully made creature that you are. Because it's awesome.
Step into your inheritance.
Yeah, dude.
You know how you know them? You know what you're known by? The love that you have for each other.
Mm.
We have enough people being assholes and hating everybody around them. Go be the light to somebody as much as you can.
Yeah.
What questions we got?
We have a lot of people on here. Let's see. Surprisingly, we have 144 people here watching a black screen. So.
Coincidence, I'm
Uh-huh.
sure.
They're getting what they need.
Yeah.
Praise ya.
Everybody's like, we don't need video.
Fun
audio.
fact, it's actually not about us.
You're not missing anything. I look like dog shit.
It's like, oh man, where are those two ugly bearded guys?
Travis Bolt said, luckily the conversation was more important than seeing faces.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess I can take my shirt off now, right? Since I can't see us anyway.
Don't?
Come on. Naughty.
No. Yeah.
Never mind. Fun fact of the day: wound care buckets float.
True.
Not that that's not pertinent
They're
information.
sealed.
Because they're sealed
They are so sealed.
and they have oxygen inside of them, which makes them buoys. Don't know that they could hold a person up, but it's still a flotation device. Something to think about as, mudslides and water is coming into. And there's talks of more storms coming,
Yeah, there is.
which is concerning to say the least.
We've got a fob established. Praise Yah.
That is awesome.
Oh my God. So we've been, for the last 2-3 days, coordinating relief without even having a fob.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. And it just, I love Grindstone. I love the people inside of Grindstone. I love the hearts that these people have to go and do good.
Yeah.
To run towards the problem, not away from it. That's priceless.
Yeah, a bunch of people just do it too. They're like, I'll just not do work right now. And
Yeah.
I'll just go help people.
Yep.
And they're blessed for it. Like the
Yeah,
Father
they are.
blesses them.
Pepperine said, my biggest fear is that when I die, God will tell me he didn't know me. And I told him, go to him and ask him to help you to know him and his heart. We love him because he first loved us. Do you know his love for you? It's really hard to have your security in him if you don't have an understanding of who you are in him, because you will live in fear. Ask me how I know.
Well, and that goes to my sheep know my voice, and they listen, right? So be his sheep, listen to his voice. And it's like, I don't know how to hear the word of God. Like, okay, open up your Bible, read it out loud. Like, that's the voice of God right there. The words are true. And start there and listen to him. Good?
This is totally, I don't want to stop your subject because I have a switch.
Okay,
Good?
that's fine.
Okay. So True asked, will there be a location set up we can bring supplies to?
Yes,
Yep.
there will be. Stand by. There is a location set up. That location is as follows. Get your pens, paper ready. Mark time. What time is in the, how long have we been live?
We've been live for, I don't know why it's not letting me tell, but I'm going to type this out as well.
Okay. Fob location 104 Cherry Grove Road, Jonesboro, Tennessee 37659. Repeat. Fob location 104 Cherry Grove Road, Jonesboro, TN, Tennessee 37659.
104 Cherry Grove Road, Jonesboro, Tennessee 37659.
Correct. That
Who
is
do they
the
contact?
physical location of the fob. You can reach out to grindstoneministries.com, admin at Grindstone Ministries. This immediate area around here has more than 5,000 displaced peoples. They need everything.
Yep.
everything. Food, water, non-perishable goods, toiletries, feminine hygiene products, all the baby stuff, blankets, cots, sleeping bags, everything. They need everything. They've lost everything. Reach out through admin@grindstoneministries.com. That'll get you in touch with Kyle, who's our executive director. And make sure you are signed up for the Grindstone email blast at grindstoneministries.com. I am putting an op-word out when I get off of this live stream. I'm headed back to my office and a laptop so I can type up an op-word and get that out. That will be going out today. In the meanwhile, we need saw crews, hands and feet, side-by-sides, four-wheel drive pickup trucks, heavy equipment with grapples and thumbs, skid steers with grapples, preferably tracked, that have lower ground pressure, track hose with thumbs, everything from little itty-bitty 3-ton machines to 50-ton machines, okay? Track hose with thumbs, skid steers with grapples, side-by-sides, four-wheel drive pickup trucks, and saw crews, chainsaw crews. And we need those at the FOB location, 104 Cherry Grove Road in Jonesboro, Tennessee. We have a FOB now. What do you got?
Well, we have an Amazon list so we can pay and they can deliver to the FOB.
That will get up and running.
Yeah, how quickly can they deliver mail here?
Yeah. So delivery is going to be a hard thing. The logistics in and out, the roads are destroyed. That's part of what we need the saw crews for, is between mudslides and trees down. A lot of areas are inaccessible. We got to clear the roads so we can get people out and get medical help to them. Also, update on the 1-year-old. We're ascertaining the exact location right now. We have assets on the ground. We have a helicopter landing zone, HLZ, established. We have the nearest trauma center on alert. We have an ambulance standing by at the HLZ, and we have a bird ready to spin. We're getting the exact location for the extract to get that baby out. This is what it's about, y'all. The next person that calls me some preacher on the internet, I'm gonna knock their fucking teeth out. I'm just gonna. Perry, you should control yourself more. You should get off your ass and do something. Do. Yod. It's the first letter in Yeshua's name and Yah's name. It means works. It is an outstretched hand. Love your neighbor as yourself. Outstretched hand.
You know, and I do wonder how much of that comment was a rebuke to themselves. Like, I should have known not to trust somebody else. You're right. You should have taken ownership. Like, accept your own rebuke. And here's the thing, guys. Like, this is just getting started.
Yep.
There are whole areas that have not been searched yet. This storm path is huge. There is another storm inbound, and I'll tell you what, there ain't nothing like a disaster-affected area getting hit again.
Yep.
Because now, guess what we don't have? Shelter.
Yep.
Now a bunch of people are displaced, right?
That happened when y'all were.
That's happened
Like another tornado came through or something.
Bagajuncha time.
We've had, I mean, from Mayfield to Perryton. In Perryton, at one point, we were in between tornadoes, one of which was coming at the FOB, the other of which was coming at the team in the field. Like, this happens. And I'll tell you what, if you're even remotely preparedness minded, go pressure test your systems with Grindstone.
Yeah, you'll see right now.
You'll like real quick. And I'll also tell you this. Everybody, so the acronym is shoot, move, communicate, sustain, right? Everybody hyperfixates on shoot first, and then they'll go into communication. What kind of radio should I get? And then they'll look at sustainment. I think I'm going to get some freeze-dried food. Nobody focuses on move, okay? Nobody focuses on move. Move is a survival skill. The ability to move your body and the ability to move your people about the battle space. It's huge.
Yep.
It's huge. Somebody's shooting at me from over there. If I might be able to move 10 feet and get behind micro terrain. Immediate problem solved.
Yep.
Bought myself a little bit of time. Now I can maneuver. I might be able to get 300 yards, 3 miles away from him, problem solved. Like, you can change your situation just by moving.
Here's a fun fact. 93% of men over the age of 30 will never run again in America.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, you will never run again. Go prove them wrong.
What age?
Over 30.
Oh, please stop this.
93%
Wow.
of men
That's insane.
over 30 in America will never run again.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It is extremely crazy. Last night, I was literally chasing predators around on the property on foot with the dogs, like just running. I had to run at least a couple miles, like just
Yep.
on foot, just running around. And I thought about that statistic last night, and I'm like, dude, it's like that Marcus Aurelius quote, where it's like, it is a shame for a man not to be able to see what his body can do. Like, it is actually a shame for those 30-year-olds that do not have any physical capability, that are just eating soy and slop and treating their body like garbage, watching video games and playing TV. Like, get up, go do things, see what your body can do. You are extremely capable. You're made in the image of the Creator. Messiah moved constantly. Dude hung out. He would move and people didn't even know where he went. They're like, he just vanished. He's no longer with us. Like, come on, dude. And teleportation is on the menu. It's happened.
It has.
Not often, but it is possible.
All right, what other questions do we have?
Will said he runs several miles every other day, and he's 36.
That's
Good job.
awesome, Ghost. Good job.
The first 72 hours you are on your own. Future government agencies and NGOs can't get in.
Minimum for 72 hours. Panama City, Florida, Grindstone initially deployed there 5 months after the storm, and it still looked like the storm happened yesterday. Nobody had done anything from a governmental standpoint.
So, I was looking up about the FEMA thing. It says that they have people, but are they all just going to Florida? Like, where are they? 'Cause if people can't find them, like.
So here's the thing. FEMA doesn't do anything. FEMA entices recovery through distribution of funds. And so FEMA administers a checkbook, and FEMA will typically show up into an affected area 14 to 28 days after the stimulus to do assessments. Based upon the assessments, will determine the severity of the situation, and then the severity of the situation determines the access to funds. The most common of which is a 75% payback to the municipality that had been hit. So if you had $1 million, say like Barnesville, right? Barnesville, Oklahoma, they had millions and millions and millions of dollars in damage. But let's say they had $1 million cost in debris hauling, to haul debris out, which is part of why Grindstone's so powerful, because we don't charge anybody. FEMA pays back $750,000. For every $100 the municipality spends, FEMA pays back $75. Another thing they do, which I don't recommend, and it's part of the value that Grindstone brings to the situation, because we've seen this enough times, is they'll make short-term loans to the municipality to cover the recovery costs. Well, the municipality can't pay those loans back, so then what happens, right? The town ends up going bankrupt. Yeah, literally, it's no longer incorporated. It's a mess. FEMA has a checkbook. FEMA doesn't actually do any work. They use that checkbook to entice disaster contractors to come in and do the work for them, and or to compensate municipalities and many non-government organizations to come in and do the work. And there are entire ministries and nonprofits that their entire MO is they have you come volunteer your time, and then they bill FEMA for the time that you volunteered. We don't do that.
Nope.
And there's a lot of the biggest names you can think of in the space. Well, I saw these people are out there, and these people are like, yep, they all do that. That's why they all have brand new equipment, brand shiny new equipment, and they don't do anything.
Yeah, you paid for it.
Yeah.
With your tax dollars.
Yeah, you did.
And so something to think about here, it's the Federal Emergency Management Agency, right? So this is a management agency for emergencies that the federal government has stood up, right? So think about bureaucracy and how absolutely asinine it is and the poor job it does in managing anything inside of its own normal government, and then put a huge emergency on top of it, right? With no military assets or logistics, right? With nobody from the military logistics side of the world running it, and then just like employ Cindy as being the one to go into that disaster zone and manage it.
You're literally talking about some like bean counters with clipboards.
Yeah.
That's what FEMA sends.
Yeah, they're so weird.
Is bean counters with clipboards. And then, y'all forbid, it's a federally declared emergency, and then they get the EPA involved and OSHA involved, because after Katrina, I had
I would be shocked if that didn't.
I had an OSHA inspector tell me after Katrina, tried to get up in my shit because I'm about to fire up a chainsaw to cut a limb that's across a road. And he's like, hold on, you have to have your PPE on, you have to have your steel toe boots and your safety chaps and your leather gloves, your ANSI Z87 certified eyewear, your hard hat, your hearing protection, face shield. And I was like, buddy, I could have had this limb cutting out of the way in the amount of time that it took for you to tell me how to operate a chainsaw.
I'm about to trim your limb.
I don't know if you know this, but as a poor kid from upstate New York, I made $1 million with a steel 066 Magnum. I know a thing or two about chainsaws. It's a limb about as big around as this Nalgene. I think I can get it. And that slows the entire process down. And is that guy correct? Yeah. If it's Bill from accounting that's never run a chainsaw before, he should be completely wrapped in bubble wrap before he fires that thing up.
He probably shouldn't leave the fob.
I asked my wife when I left the house this morning, I was standing by the front door and I said, hey, could you please bring me the broom and dustpan? She's like, okay, what's up? I said, I gotta clean this sawdust up that just fell out of my pockets before I walk out the door so I don't get yelled at for getting sawdust on the brand new floors in my house.
When I was doing tree service, my wife kept the vacuum by the door.
Yeah.
Because what I would do is I'd come home and I would shake out everything right there so that way it didn't get in the washing machine.
Yep.
Legitimately.
Yep.
I threw a vacuum right there.
I threw a shirt out yesterday. My wife was like, well, we could save it. I'll wash it. And I said, no. They can't see because the camera doesn't work anymore.
Don't worry, I'll take a picture of it later. Leave it. If you get Instagram, I'll just say if you know.
That's Eastern Red Sea.
Tell them what I just did. What is that, Lauren?
So TJ just reached into his pocket and pulled out freaking fairy dust.
Sawdust.
And sprinkled it on the table. Don't worry, I'll post a picture here and I'll just say if you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, that sawdust.
That's just one pocket.
That's just one pocket of dozens. But, if you've never run a chainsaw before, you need all that stuff. I told my wife yesterday, because I spilled some bar oil on my shirt, and I was like, I'm going to throw this shirt out. She goes, no, we can wash it, we can save it. And I said, no, we can't, because what will happen is we'll throw this shirt in with all the other laundry in the washing machine, the oil gets suspended in the water, and then it gets all over all the other clothes. And then it's also inside the washing machine, and the loads we do after that are going to keep getting oil on them until it finally works its way out of the system. We're going to ruin loads of clothing rather than just throwing one T-shirt away. Yeah. And that's what OSHA and FEMA and Army Corps of Engineers, they don't get. Everything's by the book. They read the manual, but they don't do anything. So they don't know these things.
Striker Cage said that he's a fobbit for the next week.
Yeah, I bet. Well, if he ate some real peanut butter, he'd probably heal faster.
Bird! Did you hear that, Striker Cage? Shots fired.
It's tough to be big and strong when you're on a diet of bitch butter. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my gosh.
I just love messing with him. I do. You know why? Because he could take it. Because that's a good brother.
That's hilarious. I have not heard Smooth peanut butter, we called that before.
Oh, what, bitch butter? You never
Yeah.
heard that before?
No.
It's okay. It's all right. You know, think about how much nicer your jawline would be, Striker Kate, if you had to crunch through all those peanuts and some extra chunky peanut butter every day.
He said, but my voice would sound like teas.
Yeah, awesome, sexy, luxurious, a little gravelly, full of danger and intrigue.
Someone said, not a peanut butter disc. No.
Yeah, we're back to this now.
Oh boy, here we go. Team Crunchy all the way.
That's right. That's right. Crunchy
Have you done a
represent.
poll yet on YouTube?
I don't have to do a poll. I'm going to just drag Team Creamy through the mud at the ruckus. I heard a giggle from Terry over there. You hear that? Terry knows what's up.
We're about to find out. We've got 158 people here. Are you Team Creamy or Team Crunchy?
Oh, no. Did you just put that poll up on the live stream?
I did.
I'm going.
Badger said Team Dark Chocolate.
You have to pick a side, Badger.
Wow, 64% Crunchy
Yeah.
already.
Yep.
Dang, that was fast. 35 votes, 38 votes. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Getting close.
that-
It's like the presidential election.
Fear nothing but Elohim.
No, we're not
Except
lying.
not rigged.
We're
Ha
not lying.
That's all right.
Whoa.
I don't care if it's 1% crunchy to 99% creamy. We're a representative republic, not a democracy. And I will still drag your asses through the mud. I don't care.
Striker Kate said our mud pool got shut down. Sad face.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll get creamed. Can we expect a massive dump of votes at midnight?
Just stops all of a sudden,
Yeah.
then like
I might have hundreds of thousands of pre-printed crunchy ballots
Yeah.
over there in the
Just
corner.
like dead people's names on them. I'm sure that didn't happen.
Angry American Mutt said crunchy 1% patch incoming.
That's crazy. All these dudes died the day after the election. That's nuts. It's weird. That's actually why we've been importing so many immigrants into Oklahoma, is to beef up the crunchy ballot.
Shh, Bob. Don't
Oh,
tell
I'm sorry.
anybody.
Did I say the quiet part out loud?
Don't tell anybody. Oh, I lost the poll. Where are we at now?
Still, it's up there. We've had 71 votes, and we're at 56% crunchy.
That's right. I know what's up.
I know what's up.
Guys, there's 158 of you here. Just click the button real quick.
I know. A bunch of them are. Everybody consumes passively, though. They're
We
probably
know,
driving, operating a tractor. Hi, Katie Lynn. Yeah, we know. We're just doing the best we can with what we got where we're at.
She's telling somebody else. because
Oh,
she's been here for a
probably.
while.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
Yeah, people were asking, someone asked, how do I program? They basically, I think, want to have their radio ready for when they deploy.
Yeah, so my recommendation on that is go to Evan at Radio Made Easy. Evan has actually been helping thousands upon thousands of people since these storms hit. He's been like directing people to specific repeaters for emergency communications. Wow. He's been directing people to specific channels so that way they know who and how to communicate with each other. He's been clarifying the legality behind using ham radios currently. He's also been telling ham operators to shut the up.
Yep.
When they're like, you can't use this channel, he's like, dude, literally people are drowning to death.
It's
Shut
a
up.
federally declared emergency.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
What link should I drop for him? His
So
website
Radio
or-
Made Easy, you can
Yeah.
go to his website,
Okay.
and actually, if you order a radio through Evan, he will program it based on your location with your repeaters and everything. He has, he's got pretty much majority of like the metro areas and every single state. He'll dive in. He's got all of his data correlated, and so he'll type in your location, and he'll find every main repeater in your area. He'll program that in, as well as with your like basic FRS channels, your MERS channels, stuff like that. Now that means you should still take a class. We actually have a class with Evan coming up here next year. So if you guys are curious, you can come and learn how to program and how to use your radio. It's a 2-day course. It's a really, really good experience. And you guys can come dive into it with Evan. And he's a super smart guy that just doesn't care about the politics behind radios and cares about people having the ability to communicate inside of an emergency, just like right now, which is huge. So I definitely recommend that you utilize him as an asset and a tool because he's very talented. He's very skilled.
So Tyler said, should I have life vests for disaster even if I live in PA?
Depends on where you live in PA. I'll tell you this, I live in eastern Oklahoma, and I've been joking for years that I need to add a boat to part of my bug out plan. I'm adding a boat. I'm doing it.
I was just talking about this yesterday. I was
I'm-
like, I'm getting
Joey's gonna be so happy.
Well, here's another
not a
thing.
fishing boat.
We have been joking for years since Mayfield because they had that badass
Yep,
the 42-foot
yep,
aluminum boat
yep.
at the firehouse, Fair Dealing Olive Fire District.
Yep.
We're like, oh man, Grindstone needs to get some of those. No, Grindstone needs to get some of
It's
those.
not even a joke.
It's not a joke
We need to
anymore.
get
Like,
fan boats.
yeah, for
Yeah.
100% for real,
Yeah.
for real. And so, yeah, I will be looking at implementing some type of watercraft operations and admitting I know nothing about that. I do happen to know some people that were on Marops teams though. So I'm gonna talk to them and be like, hey, what should I do?
I was just talking
Teach
to
me, almighty one.
a buddy who was a SWIC, and he was like, you guys really need to add boats. I was like, could you tell us what to add?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. And it's like, yeah, we don't know anything about
Oh
boats.
my gosh!
But I'm
The
sure.
video literally just popped back on.
Crazy,
look at
yeah.
Yeah, now they can see the show 'em sawdust.
Sawdust.
That came from TJ's pockets.
Boom.
Oh, there's more in there. That's just what I got out now.
Yeah.
That was only one pocket. Video is back.
Very cool. Very, very
Don't know
cool.
what happened, but we're here.
All right. Do we have any more questions? Is there any more questions popping up?
I don't think we have any more questions.
Last call for questiones.
We do have the new burn bucket that we just released.
Hypothermia kits as well.
Oh yes. Oh, and that one is legit. That's perfect for right now. So I'll drop the link to those guys. Let's see. And then, do we have any plate carriers left in stock?
I don't have my phone on me. Otherwise, I'd check
Let's see.
right now.
I'll look. Hold on. Waiting on everything to load.
You know they're supposed to have the vice.
Guys,
presidential
we-
debate tomorrow.
We have 24 hypothermia kits still available in stock, and I'm telling you, we will be sending a bunch of them to Eastern Tennessee and Western Carolinas as well. These guys are incredibly reasonably priced and necessary, both from a survival standpoint as well as a hypothermia mitigation standpoint in a trauma setting, because we don't want to treat hypothermia, we want to prevent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's 24 of those left. Go get them. They're $85, and that includes an APLS blanket, which is in of itself $50. And the ready heat that comes in that is like a giant hot hands warmer that's big enough to cover the thoracic area of a human being.
Huge.
Like from your belt line to your neck. And you should add a wool blanket to it as well. So $85 hypothermia kit. And what was the question? The other one was what? Plate carrier? Let me look.
People really underestimate the importance of mitigating hypothermia and preventing hypothermia. Hypothermia is one part of the lethal triad. And so the downhill effects from when somebody goes hypothermic are extremely hard to reverse, especially in the field, and can lead to death rapidly, especially if you have blood loss.
There are, the plate carriers are 90% sold out. There are 15 left. 1-5.
Dang. That's crazy.
Not and we pushed them for a day.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
pushed
1
them
week.
for a day.
We had like almost no content around the plate.
I know. There are 15 left.
That's crazy.
There are 7 available in black. There's 1 available in multicam, and there are 7 available in coyote. Do the things. What other questions do we have?
I don't think, Christopher Kuiper said, Verizon said phone services are down across the Midwest. Is this because of the storms?
No.
Not necessarily. So check this out. There was a guy, first, let me drop some knowledge bombs on you. Verizon, T-Mobile, etc. They own the towers, okay? They own the above ground infrastructure, the steel A-frame towers that have antennas and dishes on them. What they don't own is the fiber optic trunk cable, the backbone that networks all that stuff together. AT&T owns more than 80% of the fiber trunk in the world, including North America. AT&T does. They're also, just sidebar, just side quest, incredibly friendly with the NSA, AT&T. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, it's weird. So,
But the NSA doesn't have an $85 billion budget.
no, well, it's publicly.
Yeah.
So, fiber optic trunk cable, 80% of it's owned by AT&T. Okay? There was a guy, a day laborer, probably named Juan, because he wasn't unionized. We'll just put it that way. A guy.
What his paycheck was made out to, we don't know.
Yeah. That's a whole different conversation. 8 years ago, this guy was on a backhoe in Virginia, and he hit a fiber optic trunk cable with the backhoe. How he hit it and then managed to dig through it tells you dude's not an operator. And I don't mean like tier 1 operator. I mean like he doesn't understand yellow iron. But anyway, he swiped completely through this fiber optic trunk cable. Now, fiber optic, the glass filament, because it uses light, transmission of light at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. It's very fast, but the filament is the diameter or smaller than a human hair, okay? And it's made of glass. And so it is flexible, but it will break. Dude swiped through a trunk cable the diameter of my forearm and broke all those filaments and took the entire East Coast down around the tip of Florida, all the way around the Gulf, into Texas and into central Texas offline for commo. There was none because a legal guy with backhoe hit a trunk cable, the diameter, I don't know, 5 inches in diameter. And so it doesn't matter what cell phone service you have, that's the infrastructure that's above ground. That's the antennas and the dishes. It all trunks back to AT&T fiber.
Somebody said, wow, that's a huge root. Keeps digging.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, you should see when you hit copper cables back in the day because they all have a color code on them. The copper wires, 26 gauge twisted pair wires, they have a color code. It's old school telecom stuff. So that's a very colorful route. It's like, no, that's telephone line, you asshole. Will you ship to New York? Jay wants to know. Jay, are you watching right now? Yes. Are you be American citizen?
Watching you guys stress rub your face makes me relate to the world.
Yeah. By the way, so we've had a lot of questions on, like, I live in Illinois, New York, Connecticut, move. But can I buy the plate carrier there?
Yeah, we're not selling
yes,
plates.
because we don't sell armor. I'm selling you a piece of nylon.
Yep.
And believe me, we have looked into the laws on this. We're not selling armor. I'm selling nylon. You can wear it with or without plates. I recommend you put plates in it.
Yeah, it'd be a lot smarter.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. And if you don't know where to get plates from, adventurefrontier.com. Tell Travis we said what's up.
Bath and Beyond? Yeah. Just get some ceramic plates and tape them together. It works.
You're going to need like 30 though.
It's the same thing. Totally fine.
So, any other questions before we jump off of here?
I think we are good. All right. The official results. We had 135 votes. Guys, hurry up. Oh, someone removed their vote. Oh, 136 votes.
Someone removed their vote.
There's 158 people watching. I'm going to end it. You have 10 seconds. 5,
3, 2, 1.
ending the poll. The official results are crunchy 56%, creamy 43% out of 137 votes.
Country wins.
I'm happy to continue to dominate. It's tough being this right all the time.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
know,
it is.
it really is. The burden of command.
You're so good at humble. I'm pretty. I don't mean to brag. I'm not trying to brag.
You
I'm
are
very
pretty.
Good at
You are
being
pretty.
humble.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Rockstar69 asked, are unskilled workers welcome? Hands.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let me repeat this real quick before we sign up. We need the following. We need hands and feet. Okay, 104 Cherry Grove Road, Jonesboro, Tennessee. Email admin@grindstoneministries.com. Go to grindstoneministries.com right now. Sign up for the email blast because I am sending out the op board within the next 120 minutes. Okay, with details. Comma. We need hands and feet. We need people at the fob who can cook and clean and handle logistics. We need 4x4 pickup trucks. We need side-by-sides, okay? We need medical personnel with medical equipment. We need commo personnel with commo equipment. We need heavy equipment with grapples, skid steers with grapples, preferably tracked because they don't sink nearly as bad, and track hose with thumbs, okay? And if you have all that stuff, a way to move them would be cool too.
Yeah.
Okay? And we need saw teams, people that know how to run chainsaws, that aren't going to cut their own leg off, that don't have to be babysat. And we need all that stuff ASAP. And we need 30,000 cases of water and non-perishable goods and diesel fuel and generators and all the things. Yes, Lauren?
Can they purchase a first aid kit to donate to the guys that are going to be setting up the medical fobs and stuff?
Absolutely.
The guys we were talking on the phone with.
Absolutely. I need you to do that. Email sales@refugemedical.com, and Forrest will get you taken care of with that.
Nobody asked. I was just saying, like,
Yes.
if you wanted to let them know. I know, Bob, you were just on the phone with the guy, so.
And then with that, guys, hands and feet or non-skilled workers. The operative word there is work. This is not a place to come and hang out. This is not a place to come and fellowship. This is a place to do, right? So if you're looking for an opportunity to meet Bear from the internet or come and hang out and fellowship, you will get bounced so hard, you stop bouncing somewhere in Georgia. So that's just me trying to get ahead of anybody who's like, oh, I don't know anything, but I can come and help. It's like, yeah, absolutely, but make sure you're coming to help.
Yeah, come for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Come for the right reasons. The harvest is great, but the workers are few. Workers are few. We need people who are going to put out. Don't come because I'm going to be there. Don't. I will disappoint you. I promise you. I disappoint myself regularly. Okay? Don't. Maybe Bear from the internet will be there. No, you go because the spirit of Elohim has convicted you to go love your neighbor as yourself. Don't go because I'm going to be there. Tracking? Good. admin@grindstoneministries.com. Sign up for the email blast. I got to go put an op board together. You got to speedball a field hospital to some operators.
Yep.
Lauren's got
I
to
got stuff to
be
fill
pretty
out.
on the internet or whatever she's got to
I don't
do.
even get on the internet.
Well, maybe
I'm an
our
elusive
maybe our
ghost,
views would be higher if you would.
Guys, I'm serious.
really
There's more
awkward.
storms coming. Get your gear now.
100%. Oh yeah, and then they're shutting the ports down tomorrow.
Yeah. So
That's not
so,
hyperbole.
So as they get prepared to shut the ports down, what do you think that's going to do to medical supplies?
Well, only 56% of medical supplies come in through those ports.
And I'm sure that the Defense Logistics Agency is not going to take priority of that other 44%. So, I don't know. Time to do the things, prepper. You have what you have, operator. So, let's go. Let's do it. Shalom, y'all. Love you.
Bye.
Love you
Someone
too.
asked if we could pray. Dan wants to.
Yes, I will pray. Father Yahuwah, Father, thank you for all of our myriad blessings. Thank you for all the things that we take for granted. Father, please be with all the people who are hurting today. And Father, please continue to equip and empower us to be your hands and feet. Convict us by your Ruach HaKodesh to go where you would have us go and say the things that we need to say and do the things that we need to do. Father God, please make your face to shine upon us today, smile upon us, and just speed us through your Ruach. Pour out into us that we might pour out into others. Give us everything we need and most of what we want to bring glory to you. And Father, let us remember that all things work together for your glory and for the good of those that love you, even if they don't make sense to us right now. Father, please be indwelt in these situations. There are more than 10 righteous men. There are. We are more than 10 righteous men. We seek your face humbly and ask that you would make your will be done. And Father, that you would make us strong enough by the blood of Messiah to accept your will, whatever it might be. Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that's not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. Father, be near to us. Help us love our neighbors as ourselves, as living proof that we love you with everything that we've got. Father, we thank you for today. In Yeshua's name, amen.
Go do it, Refuge Nation.
Shalom.